Hey gents, welcome back to the second part of my three-part video. The first video we went over my belt setup, and as promised, this video we're going to go over my plate carrier setup and how I've set that up and some of the methodology that I've used based on my experience, based on my usage. So yeah, I'm not going to go too much into detail on the individual items or things inside the individual pouches, but yeah, just a quick overview of what it is, how I use it, and some of the methodology behind the usage of it. So jumping right into it, the plate carrier itself, it's First Spear, it's a Strand Hog V1. Really liked it. It's treated me really well. The quality of it, the tubes, man, I can't say enough good things about it. It's been a great plate carrier. And if you do anything kind of serious, it's that Chinese made the Chinese made plate carriers, I guess nothing wrong with it, but if you're doing anything kind of serious, you want to invest in good gear. You want to invest in something that has a good name. You want to invest in something that is, being used on a daily basis by the military, by people who actually use it in the field. You want that reputation behind it if you plan to actually use it for what it's intended and designed to be used for. If you're just playing around, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Those airsofters out there, Milsim, hey, you guys, you want to use the Chinese stuff, more power to you, save some money, buy some cooler guns, whatever. But yeah, if you're doing anything kind of serious, I would always recommend, definitely buying quality shit, man. It definitely, it pays in the long run. And, First Spear is a testament to that. Their products are high quality products, and this vest is no exception to that. So what I've got here running here, I've got 3 double magazines, and these are First Spear as well. Okay, and these do not use your more conventional Molly. They use that. I forgot the exact terminology. I want to say it's a 6x12 or 6x9, something like that. But essentially, they're using Velcro and they're stringing it in here. So similar to Molly, but they attach it differently. But what it does is it makes your overall, it just makes it flatter. It makes it more flush to the actual, to the plate carrier itself. And I don't know if you can see on the inside of it, but yeah, it makes a difference. It's nicer. And it definitely cuts down on a little bit of weight. Not that that really matters when you're rocking 6 magazines. And I mean, speaking of the 6 magazines, I see a lot of guys, with their plate carriers, they're rocking, 3 mags up in front, and they've got 1 mag in their gun, giving you a total of 4 mags. I mean, I guess it looks cool, looks all right. But if you're doing anything, actual combat wise, it quite frankly, it's just not enough. You're just not rocking enough ammo. The basic combat loadout for an M16 or AR rifle or styled rifle, you want to at least be rocking 6 magazines and then 1 in the rifle. I've seen some guys do an additional 2. Maybe they've got 2 somewhere else on their body, giving them a 8 plus 1. But yeah, basic is fucking 6, man. I wouldn't go out to any type of engagement without at least 6 magazines and 1 in the rifle. Okay. And these particular magazines, I really like these. These are the Daniel Defense. These are the 32 round magazines. However, I don't carry the 32 round magazines, nor is that its intended usage. They are intended to be downloaded by 2. So, back when I was in the Marine Corps and I had like the steel mags, we would always download our mags by 2. So instead of carrying 30 rounds, we would always carry 28 rounds. And what this 32 round magazine does is it gives you that ability to actually carry 30 rounds and still download the two, still giving you 30 rounds. So yeah, I really like those magazines. The Daniel Defense magazines, they've always, they've held up. They've been really great. For my training, I carry the P mags just for like training, like doing like fast, magazine reloads, or doing, just having fun out there on the range. I use the P mags, but for actual usage, I use the Daniel Defense magazines. Down here, I carry this pouch right here. This is my personal IFAK for here, and there's very basic IFAK. And if you remember watching on my other video, I have a larger IFAK on my belt. It's behind me. This is in front of me, so I have an IFAK behind me, and I also have an IFAK in front of me. The IFAK that's in front of me is very, very basic. And it basically contains the 3 life-saving things that you actually need, which is tourniquet, quick clot, and a Band-Aid, okay? And basically all you're trying to do with this pouch here, with this IFAK, you stop the bleeding. And that's extremely important. Any type of situation, if you get hit, you need to stop the bleeding immediately. Anything more than that, unless you're like trained on the medical field, you really don't need that much more. And that is the most basic of it all, is just stop that bleeding. And that's what this kit does. And I'm able to access it on both sides. I've got little pull tabs on this side, and I got little pull tabs on this side. And then, like I said, I have that full IFAK on my back, on my belt. So, I'm trying to be a little bit redundant on that side of it. And like I said, I'm gonna do a separate video just on both of the IFAKs and kind of go more into detail on exactly what I carry inside of the belt IFAK and exactly what I carry in this IFAK. But medical is very important, and you got to stop that bleeding, and you got to do it as quick as possible. The next thing that I have on here, I have this little piece here and this piece. And what this is my sling, okay? This is my sling. And the way that I've set this up, I've done like a 1-point sling, and then I also have a 2-point sling. And this piece right here, it's magnetic, and it is about, I want to say it's advertised as a 10-pound pull, which is more than sufficient to hold up the weight of my rifle. And you can pull that off, and then it snaps in. Pull it off, snap in. So it does require a good amount of strength, but when you attach a rifle to it, it's not terrible, okay? And I kind of created this based on my experience. And the reason I created it like this is because, when I was overseas, especially in Middle Eastern countries, they don't really have standard building codes. A lot of them are just kind of just put together, just kind of whatever the fuck. And as a result of that, sometimes the hallways or your corridors are not standard 3 feet. Maybe they're like 2 feet, or maybe they change. Maybe they fucking go at an angle instead of going straight. Maybe they kind of convex in like that. So as a result, or some of the doorways, a lot of the doorways are not standard. So if you're carrying a bunch of gear and you're wearing all your gear and you're trying to go through a fucking door, the first thing I would notice, a lot of guys, including myself, one of the biggest things, we would get our slings caught in the doorways. Our slings would get caught inside the fucking little door handles. Going upstairs, the little stair railing, you would get your fucking sling or some shit caught in that. And if you're fucking moving fast, which you need to be doing in that type of an environment, you need to be moving fast and you need to be moving aggressively. Getting stuck like that holds up the whole fucking team. And if you're in the fucking front and you get fucking stuck, you're holding up the whole fucking team, man. So, it's from that standpoint, it is a very critical issue that I really wanted to address. And that's why I've, on all my gear setups, I always create some type of sling system integrated into my plate carrier setup, as opposed to carrying, doing a separate sling and then slinging it over my plate carrier. In addition to that, the idea that you want to be able to get rid of your gear and, if you fall in the water or do something like that and you need to fucking, take your fucking gear off quick, okay? You might be able to take it off quick, with the tube system and do all of that. You might be able to do that very quickly and shed your gear. But if you've got a sling that's coming over you, your sling is actually going to keep you from removing your gear properly and quickly. So again, this setup allows you to shed your gear entirely and and not be and not be caught up in your own sling. Okay, so I've created this sling setup to do, and I'll kind of show you guys how I've set this up. Okay, so here's my rifle. I'll put this back here like that. This goes into the little QD slot here. Okay, and just using this just by itself, okay, I can just use this as a 1-point sling. Okay, and I've got it hooked up all the way back here into the plate carrier itself. Okay, so it's not going anywhere, and it's strong, and it's able to support that weight. Okay, and then also this piece here, I sling into here like that, and you can see it just automatically attaches here like that. Okay, and if I need to present my rifle very quickly, it just does it automatically. It just comes out like that, and then snaps back. Snap down here. Make sure you guys can fucking see that shit. Okay, so here, present, easy. Okay, and we're not getting caught up on gear. We're not getting caught up on doorways, anything. Present, so easy. Okay, and if I just need a rocket, it's magnetic, stays right there in place. Okay, so that's kind of how I set my my sling setup, and it stays in place. I really love it. It's great. It works for me. Something else that I've done as well, one thing, let's go touch real quick, touch back on the magazines here. I see a lot of guys on some of the other, like, their setups, and I'm not trying to shit on anyone's setup, okay? But I've been under fire, okay? I've had to return fire, and one of the biggest things that I've seen on a lot of other guys that, and lucky for me, when I got into the fleet, Marine Corps fleet, when I got into the fleet, I got into the fleet back in 2003, and lucky for us, when I was a fucking boot, a lot of the guys, our seniors, my senior Marines, they had just gotten back from deployments, so they were already salty as fuck, so they had some great combat experience to share with us. And one of the first things that they all critiqued us on was putting shit up here above our magazines. A lot of guys would put like grenade pouches or some shit like that above their magazines. And even now, I see a lot of videos of people putting like admin pouches up here. I can't tell you how ill-advised that is, okay? And the reason why is because you want to keep this area fucking clear, man. You really do. When you pull out your fucking magazine, you don't want anything blocking that maneuver, okay? You want this area fucking clear, man, okay? You want it fucking nice and clear, okay? If you're in a firefight, that means you're already fighting with someone else. The last thing you want to do is be fighting with your own fucking gear, trying to get a fucking magazine out. So, like I said, there's a lot of other products out there. They put like I said, admin pouches. They put, I've even seen like a phone holder, tilter, or whatever the fuck. Looks cool. It does look cool. Maybe it is convenient. But if you're under fire, that shit's gonna be a hindrance for you, okay? Another thing that I have here, really quickly, oh, by the way, I am running plates. I am running fucking plates in here, and I also am running side plates on here as well. Usually you can run the plates this way, vertically. I have chosen to run them horizontally. For me, it's just a little bit easier. I like to run my plate carrier a little bit on the high side, so if I were to run it vertically, it would kind of dig into my fucking armpits, and it's not really comfortable for me, so I like to run them horizontally. On this fucking side, this pouch right here, this is from Maxpedition. It's a radio pouch, and you know, I've kind of created this radio pouch, and I've kind of gutted that radio pouch and taken the front off and kind of, you know, integrated it into the plate carrier and also into the my little backpack hydration carrier. And you know, that's something that you guys really have to do to kind of, you know, it's one thing to buy cool gear, but it's another thing to actually use that gear, and you really kind of have to get creative with your own gear and kind of make it your own. And, you know, bust out that 550 cord, you know, bust out those scissors and sewing kits if necessary. But yeah, a good kit is really kind of made for you and made custom to you. I heard one analogy, and it hit very accurately, but one analogy is it's got to be like a fucking, what is it, a baseball mitt, you know? Over time, you keep wearing it, and it just becomes, you know, so fit to your hand. And, you know, no difference here. You've got to keep wearing this, keep using this, and using it in different applications, and, you know, create your own setup and customize that your setup to you. This right here, I've got like I said, this is the Maxpedition radio pouch, and I'll try to find as many links as possible. I have the stuff with like Amazon or whatever, so those Amazon links, but there's a lot of stuff on here that I haven't bought from Amazon. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't bought that I bought from, like I said, the plate carrier, you know. So it's harder to find those links, but I will do my best to find those links for you. For all the products, just so you can see them and you can, you know, easily find them and get them if you'd like. But this particular one, oh, and I'm here on this fucking side. So I've used the gear keeper, okay, and I've tied it onto here, okay, and then I just very easily do that. So that way I keep it lashed on here, okay, so I keep it kind of fucking dummy corded on here. But this is a Garmin Rhino 750. And I use this. The cool thing about this is it's a walkie-talkie and it's also a GPS. And I have this hooked up to my Peltors, and I'll show you that in a separate video of how I've turned Peltors into Bluetooth Bluetooth headset. But I'll show you that when I go into my my helmet setup. But yeah, having a GPS and a radio, pretty important, especially when I'm out there, you know, on like hunts, especially if I'm out there. The places that I usually go hunting in, I'm hunting in, you know, 100, 200, 300 plus acres of land. It's quite a bit of land to cover and to also get lost in. So you want to make sure you have, you know, a way to navigate, you know, in the event that you do get lost, or just being able to navigate, know where you set up your last hunts or whatever. But having a good GPS unit is pretty vital. And I didn't want to carry anything extra, so I ended up going with this one because it combines the GPS and the radio as well. Going on to the side of this, or to the back side of it. These here, and I've got one here on this side, okay, and these contain batteries, and they're, you know, waterproof, and I put them right here. And This particular one, it has four rechargeable AA's, and what that is, this takes four AA's. So I have spare batteries for my radio and my GPS. And then on this side, I've got 6 CR123s, and basically this is just for my rifle. Okay, these batteries are spare batteries just for my rifle. On my rifle, I'll do another video just on my rifle itself. But on my rifle, I have 2 devices that require batteries. And it's my IR laser and my doggone Surefire. And, so this gives me a total of 3 backups. So I'm able to really extend my time out. I can stay out there for extended periods of time and not worry so much about battery life, okay? Here, this is a poncho. Ponchos are great. I really no need to go too much into detail on how amazing a poncho is and the usabilities of a poncho. But yeah, poncho amazing. If you don't have one on your gear, you should carry one, Definitely good for a rainy day, right? But also great for building a shelter. Here in the back, this is the flat pack by Haley Strategic, and man, this is what a great piece of gear. You can actually expand this. I think they have a new version out that's actually even larger, but I don't like that one. For me, it's a little bit too big. I want to try to keep it, slim and smaller. So yeah, this size is great. I really like this size. And I'm not going to go too much into detail here, but obviously I carry water in here. I've got an IR chem stick holder, okay, that I can keep here. But I carry these things, and I've had to kind of make this. And I have butchered this Haley Strategic pack. I keep this on my plate carrier, so they've included like the little shoulder straps and shit like that. But I gutted those shoulder straps and turned it into my sling, and that's what this is. Okay, so I've turned it into my sling. I've cut it up and made it my own because I'm never gonna take it off my plate carrier and use it as a fucking backpack. It's just for me, it stays here. But I've created this. These are 2 fucking boot bands stuck together, okay? And with little G hooks. And they've got little hooks right here. 1 hook here. And a fucking hook on the other side. And they have another one here. Okay. And bam. Okay. So I put those bitches here. And this allows me to carry either a poncho liner, or what I usually carry here. I usually carry I have a pair of I think they're called like snakeskin gaiters. But usually if I go hunting in the summer, there are I'm out here in southern Texas, so there are fucking rattlesnakes and shit like that out here. So I do like to carry fucking gaiters on my fucking legs, on my person, and I just strap them up here, and I just strap the fucking gaiters right here, and then I don't really have to worry about getting fucked up by fucking rattlesnakes while I'm fucking out in the bush. But yeah, that by the way is a great product. But also, what else I keep in here? I keep this water filter. It's an inline water filter. And as you remember from my previous video, I carry another filter that's on my belt, and I carry the Grail titanium that I carry. And that is my primary filter of how I refill the water bladder that's already in here. I use that, integrate that, just like you saw from the previous video. Not gonna go too much into detail. So this is more of like a backup. So if for some reason that Grail is not fucking working for me or whatever the fuck, at least I have this. And this is the red. So the red is actually, it's rated to filter out viruses, okay? So, and like I said, it's inline, so you would plug it into your bladder and filter it through as you suck. But yeah, great. And then it has this as well. So if I just want to just come over here and drink, I can just stick this directly into the water and drink. You know, again, redundancy, especially with water. Water is extremely important. So, oh, what the fuck? So that's what I carry in here. Also carry this little fucking folding spoon. Good to have a little folding spoon in here. Okay. And like I said, with that grill setup that I have, you know, I can cook if I really wanted to. But what I also carry in here, in addition to the water, I carry this, and I've sealed this, and it has an MRE main meal. It has a Cliff Bar, and it has one of these cookies. And these cookies, you can't fucking see it, but it's like 450 fucking calories. This one's like 250 calories. Carry a couple pieces of beef jerky plus a main meal. So this is gonna kind of get me through. And I seal it like this, so that way it stays nice and flat inside of my pack. And that's why I have the fucking spoon. Now you know. Okay, so yeah, I carry that. So this gives me, you know, emergency food if I really need it, and I have water in here. I guess I can fucking open it for you guys, but let's see here. Okay, so yeah, the water bladder's in here, and this water bladder is from Source. I do really like the Source products, and I like this product. And like I said, I showed it on the previous belt video, but you're just able to you know, pop this on and, you know, throw this onto the grill and get filtered water directly into your bladder without even having to take this shit off. And speaking of the bladder, you know, so obviously I have the line running from here all the way here and coming out here. This particular magnet setup, this is from Osprey, and as I mentioned before about keeping this shit fucking clean and clear, you know, I see some guys doing shit like this. Nah, I can't do it either. You know, I have a thing about keeping it clear, so that's why I wanted to have it run straight down and run to the side of this. And putting the way that I did it, this thing right here, this is something from 511. One of these little pull tabs. I'll find a fucking video or a fucking link and put that in. But yeah, this is another piece of gear that I kind of had to butcher and just take the pull tab from it. But yeah, that's how I put that in here and fit that magnet side, that female magnet side onto here, and it works fine. I drink, and then as I'm walking, it just kind of you know, finds its home right there. And then finally, oh yeah, this guy right here. So I've got a couple little shock cords or whatever that I just kind of put in here. But just a cigar. Every now and then I like to, when I'm out in the field, sometimes there's a little morale boost. You know, I'll just go out there and have a nice cigar or something. So it's good to have a little cigar on your plate carrier just for shits and giggles, I guess. But yeah, that is kind of a quick rundown of my plate carrier and how I've set that up. You know, my next video, I'm gonna do my helmet setup and show you guys how I use that in tandem with my night vision, and then video number 4, we're gonna be doing just on the rifle and mixing a little bit of night vision with that as well. So stay tuned, please like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel, really helps me out, and it lets me continue doing, you know, sharing this knowledge with you guys, which is ultimately what I really love to do. I'm not here to shit on anybody's system or their gear or their setup. That's not my goal. That's not the intent of this, of the content that I put out. It's all here just to really kind of help you as a concerned citizen, as a warrior going in or as just a casual airsofter just trying to have fun, man. So yeah, like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. Helps me out. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.